Hey y'all, it's Danielle, and today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to balance an equation. So the important thing to remember when you're balancing equations is that the number of atoms of each element as a reactant is equal to the number of atoms of that element as a product. So basically that means that the number of atoms of an element on one side of the equation has to be equal to the number of atoms of that certain element on the other side of the equation. So right now I'm going to stick to a synthesis reaction, and that's basically a synthesis equation, and that's basically when A plus B, and the A and B are both elements, equals AB. So that would be the compound. And I'm just basically gonna stick to a simple equation, which will be this. N2 plus H2 equals NH3. So what I like to do is write how many atoms of each element I have on each side of the equation. I like to do that first, just so I know what I'm working with. So it's simple. Here there's 2 nitrogen atoms and there's 2 hydrogen atoms. But here there's only 1 nitrogen atom and 3 hydrogen atoms. So basically what I like to do is just play around with numbers. Here, this is the product side and this is the reactant. Here you know that hydrogen has to have at least 3 atoms in the whole equation. So right here, you know that the total number of hydrogen atoms has to be a multiple of 2 and 3. No, it just has to be a multiple of at least 3. So the closest number that you can try is 2, and that would be 6. So if this element has 6, then that means that this has to have 6 as well. So 2 times 3 is 6. So you would put a 3 right here, and you would put a 2 right here. Since there's only one nitrogen atom, that means that this would be 2, and since there's already 2 atoms of nitrogen on this side of the equation, then you could put a 1 here, and that's 2. So now nitrogen has 2 over here, and hydrogen has 6, and over here nitrogen has 2 as well and has 6. So now this equation is properly balanced. So in conclusion, the things you have to remember about balancing equations is that the number of atoms for a specific element has to be equal on both sides of the equation.